Hey there, Dub Nation, can you feel that electric buzz in the air tonight? Smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Imagine waking up to the news that Golden State has quietly become the frontrunner to land one of the NBA's most intriguing stretch for talents. A 7-footer whose shooting stroke and scoring versatility have made him a household name. But wait, before we reveal exactly who we're talking about, let's rewind and unpack every tantalizing clue that suggests Lauri Markkanen could be suiting up in royal blue and gold as early as next season. It all began when an industry insider dropped a bombshell. According to the latest odds from a leading Vegas sportsbook, the Warriors now sit at plus 205 to land Jazz All-Star forward Lauri Markkanen in the offseason, making them the favorites over long-rumored suitors. That implies roughly a 33% chance. In case you're keeping score at home, but how did the Warriors fall past teams with more cap space or perceived upside? Could it be that Golden State's front office, renowned for pulling off seismic moves, has quietly been assembling the assets and narrative to make this deal irresistible to Utah? Is it possible that Mike Dunleavy Jr. and co. are ready to hit the reset button on last summer's negotiations and finally prime Markkanen away from the Jazz? Let's set the stage. Just 1 year ago, Utah inked Markkanen to a massive 5-year, $238 million extension, a deal that raised eyebrows around the league due to its sheer size and the fact that Lauri's stock seemed to peak 2 seasons earlier. Back in that historic 2022-23 campaign, he was averaging nearly 26 points and 8 boards per night, operating as one of the most efficient mid-range creators in basketball. Fast forward to last season, and those numbers dipped to 19 points and just under 6 rebounds on a Jazz roster that stumbled to a league-worst 17-65 record. Suddenly, what looked like a franchise cornerstone contract morphed into a potential albatross. $46 million due in year 1, $49 million in year 2, and a $53 million cap hit when Markkanen turns 31, for a franchise keyed into youth and rebuilding. Around the 5th overall pick, suddenly offloading that contract made more sense than ever. And here's where Golden State enters the conversation. Sources tell us that the Warriors, well aware of Utah's philosophical pivot toward developing their 2025 draft pick and shedding long-term salary, quietly inquired about Markkanen's availability months ago. While no formal offer leaked at that time, the groundwork was laid for a possible trade package built around promising young players. Think sharpshooter Brandon Podziemski, whose ice-cold shooting stroke makes defenses pay, or Jonathan Kuminga, whose athletic upside still lingers as tantalizing potential. Toss in a pair of protected or unprotected first-round picks and a salary-matching veteran like Andrew Wiggins, and you've got a haul that grabs the attention of any front office. Staring down the barrel of cap hell. Could this be the calculated ploy that finally convinces Utah to pull the trigger? Some insiders believe that the Jazz brass, under pressure to turn losses into assets, would at least entertain a package heavy on draft capital. Others argue that shedding Markkanen's contract might require more firepower, perhaps adding a young rotation piece from another team via a 3-way deal, or using a sign-and trade involving a restricted free agent. Fans are wondering if a third-team maneuver could finesse NBA rules to match salaries while maximizing asset returns. After all, we've seen Golden State's front office navigate sign-and trade puzzles before, most notably to acquire Kevin Durant back in 2016, and their reputation for creative financial engineering remains unmatched. Of course, the key to making this rumor fly lies in fit. How would a 7'0", 250-pound forward with a sweet touch from beyond the arc and a history of mid-range mastery integrate into Steve Kerr's motion offense? Steph Curry's gravity at the top of the key would open up elbow jumpers for Lauri. Picture Curry faking a handoff, defenders flinching, and Markkanen stepping into a pull-up 3 or rolling to the rim for an easy finish. Meanwhile, Klay Thompson's off-ball movement would clear space in the corner, and Draymond Green's passing prowess would find Lauri wherever he leaks out. For a catch-and-shoot opportunity, could this quartet recreate the spacing and pace that powered Golden State's dynastic runs, while injecting a new level of size and scoring versatility? But let's not gloss over defensive concerns. Markkanen's rim protection has always been a work in progress. Last season he blocked just 0.3 shots per game, and his defensive rebounding dipped alongside his offensive production. Warriors coaches would need to concoct rotations that hide defensive weaknesses, perhaps by pairing Lauri with Draymond's switch-heavy schemes or staggering lineups. So he's alongside more traditional paint protectors in key moments. Some insiders speculate that the Warriors could shift Kevin Looney into a more defined backup center role, allowing Lauri to play the 4 with more freedom to attack from the mid-range. Could this chess match of lineups unlock untapped defensive potential? Or will opponents simply exploit mismatches at the rim? Then there's the financial chessboard. Golden State is flirting with the luxury tax yet again, with every core contributor locked into max deals. To absorb Markkanen's massive contract, they'd likely have to execute a sign-and trade, using Lauri's new extension as the centerpiece while sending back just enough salary, a young talent to satisfy the trade rules. Alternatively, they could orchestrate multiple smaller buyouts offering veteran role players a mutual parting, so they can chase championship rings elsewhere and stretch those cap hits across several seasons. Each move carries risk, potential, locker room disruption, reduced depth, and an ever-looming tax bill that could top $100 million. But ask any Dub Nation lifer, and they'll tell you, if you want historic success, you have to be willing to pay the price. Speculation reached fever pitch when a respected beat writer mentioned that Markkanen's agent has been spotted in San Francisco, casually dining at one of the city's hottest spots mere blocks from Chase Center. Some fans pieced together that a photo shared on social media by a Warriors staffer featured Markkanen's unmistakable 24 jersey hanging on the wall. Was it a clever prank or a subtle teaser? Could these breadcrumbs be intentional nudges meant to prime the fan base and build momentum ahead of a formal announcement? One thing is certain, in the age of social media, half-truths and strategic leaks can create a narrative that feels as real as any official press release. Meanwhile, rival front offices are on high alert. The Lakers, fresh off their own blockbuster off-season moves, are rumored to be considering trades for perimeter talent and defensive specialists to counterbalance Steph's reign of threes. The Clippers, too, are said to be scouring trade boards for frontcourt pieces who can match Lauri's range and size. Could this swirling rumor be the catalyst that triggers a new wave of Western Conference shakeups, where every contender scrambles to protect against or emulate the Warriors' potential blockbuster? Amid all the conjecture, one question looms largest. Does Golden State really need Lauri Markkanen to reclaim its throne at the top of the NBA? Some purists argue that the magic lies in the unselfish harmony of the Splash Brothers and Draymond's defensive anchor, suggesting that adding a new star risks diluting the fluid motion that defined 3 championships in 4 years. Others counter that without fresh blood and added size, the Warriors risk stagnation and another early playoff exit. Could this be the turning point that either extends the dynasty or marks its twilight? But what do you think about all of this? Personally, as a Warrior supporter, I believe that Lauri's unique shooting and scoring profile could be the spark this team needs to evolve, and that, when integrated thoughtfully, he can amplify our strengths rather than undermine them. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you're as hyped as I am for Warriors News Fan Report, smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of the drama in blue and gold. Now picture it, Lauri Markkanen, donning the royal blue and gold, stepping onto the hardwood at Chase Center for the first time. The buzz under the stands is palpable. Steph Curry glances over mid-warm-up, sees that familiar height 7-0 of rangy shooting touch, and you can almost sense the chemistry igniting before a single dribble. Could this mean we're witnessing the dawn of a new era? One where Curry's gravity and Lauri's floor-stretching prowess collide to produce the deadliest pick and pop the league has ever seen? Fans are wondering if those back-to-back catch-and-shoot sequences become the bread and butter of our offense, forcing defenses to choose between guarding the deepest of threes or protecting the paint from Lauri's patented fadeaway jumper. Meanwhile, the ripple effect on our current rotation is already sending chills down the spine of every Dub. Jonathan Kuminga, whose raw athleticism and aggressive drives have flashed superstar potential, may see his minutes fluctuate in key late-game situations. Does Steve Kerr go small with Curry, Thompson, and Lauri stretching the floor, or does he stick with Kuminga's relentless energy and defensive instincts? Could it be that Moses Moody, the rookie with that ice-cold shooting hand, carves out a specialty role as the corner sniper, watching Curry and Lauri command double teams while he patrols the perimeter for uncontested triples? Fans are speculating whether Pajimski, fresh off his breakout rookie campaign, will be slotted into a sixth-man position, giving Curry a breather while still maintaining that lethal spacing that opponents dread. And then there's Bronny James. Could this be the year we see Sparks newcomer Bronny earn garbage time minutes alongside the veterans, soaking up knowledge from Curry and Lauri as they redefine motion offense? Some insiders believe that Bronny's decision-making and passing IQ might slot him perfectly into late-game lineups, a testament to Kerr's willingness to blend youth with superstars. Offensive adjustments are one thing, but what about the defensive identity of this revamped Warriors squad? There's an open question about Draymond Green's future. With Lauri's questionable rim protection metrics last season just 0.3 blocks per game, and his career defensive rating hovering around the mid-110s, will Kerr continue to lean on Dre's switch-heavy schemes as the anchor, or will he stagger Lauri's minutes alongside Kevin Looney to bolster interior coverage? Could this mean that Draymond transitions into more of a mentor-defender role off the bench, maximizing his playmaking while providing defensive insurance in crunch time? Some suggest that a horseshoe lineup of Curry, Thompson, Kuminga, Looney, and Green retains defensive integrity while still allowing Lauri to thrive as the fourth option. Yet others argue that only by fully committing to Lauri's run-and-gun mobility can the Warriors unlock their next championship chapter. Zoom out to our Western Conference rivals, and the chatter is deafening. Nuggets front office horses are said to be plotting tweaks to counter a Curry-Lore pick-and-pop that would shred their switch defense. Nikola Jokic's post touches may be fewer if defenses must respect the 7-footer spotting up at the arc. Could Denver consider trading for a shot blocker to match Lauri's size? Thunder Brass, still building around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren, are mulling over adding perimeter shooters to defend Steph's pull-ups. Anything to slow down this potential dynamo. And over in LA, the Clippers' backroom is reportedly reviewing film of Lauri's corner three snatches out of drive and kick situations, wondering if they need another physical wing to guard him one-on-one. Fans in OKC and LA are tweeting out trade counter proposals. What if Thunder offer draft picks and Lou Dort for Markkanen? Or could the Clips flip Marcus Morris and a pick for this new Warriors blend? The fear is real. Mark my words. Rival front offices are scrambling draft boards and cap sheets as we speak, strategically. Think about playoff matchups. In a potential first-round clash with the Lakers, LeBron and Anthony Davis would have to navigate a court littered with shooters. Lakers defense allowed 37% from three last regular season. What happens when Lauri is vectoring screens for Curry in crunch time? Is it possible that in late-game scenarios, the Lakers become incentivized to dare Lauri to beat them from deep, only to have Draymond swoop in for a game-sealing strip? And if we face a defensive juggernaut like the Suns, who held opponents to under 100 points per game, will this lethal Curry-Lauri axis force Monty Williams to devise new rotations, perhaps sacrificing rebounding to chase shooters beyond the arc? Could this be the turning point that breaks the West's toughest defenses and cements Golden State's strategic mastery? But the future isn't just about on-court X's and O's. Off-court, the electricity surrounding this potential blockbuster is already snowballing. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted, sources, Warriors closing in on Lauri Markkanen deal that would reshape the conference. Shams Charania followed up, Markkanen's agent in SF for last 48 hours. No coincidence. Social media lit up when Andre Iguodala, championship veteran, posted a cryptic image of a gold-painted three-point line captioned "Next Chapter." The emotional tug is strongest on Twitter. Raptors legend Chris Bosh chimed in with respect to the Warriors for going all in. Can't wait to see how this mix with Curry goes. Meanwhile, fans on Reddit are creating highlight reels titled Curry plus Lauri equals 3-point nexus, racking up tens of thousands of upvotes in hours. Some influencers even launched TikTok campaigns hyping Dub Vision 2025, featuring mashups of Curry bailouts and Lauri's high-arcing triples. The emotional undercurrent is undeniable. This isn't just a trade. It's the next act in a saga that has defined a decade of basketball lore. And let's talk numbers. Lauri shot 35% from 3 on 7.1 attempts per game last season, including a stellar 41% from the corners, precisely the spaces Kerr covets for catch-and-shoot threats. Curry averaged 8.6 three-pointers made per 36 minutes when he had reliable floor spacers beside him over the past 3 seasons. Put those stats together, and you're talking about an offense that could flirt with historic efficiency. Defense remains a question mark. Last year, the Warriors ranked 12th in defensive rating, so expects Kerr to tinker. Could he unleash a zone hybrid that funnels baseline drives toward Lauri's help defense? Or will he stagger two centers lineups to protect the rim? Some analytics gurus predict a defensive rating improvement, simply by virtue of opponents having to guard farther from the basket, reducing paint touches by 5 to 7%. Even as we dream of banners rising, there's an undercurrent of caution. What if Lauri struggles to adjust to the Warriors' lightning-quick pace? What if the gravity of Curry's pull-up hinders Lauri's roll, fumbling too many touches away from his mid-range game? Some insiders whisper that Lauri's usage rate dipped to 21% last season, the lowest of his career, raising questions about whether he can thrive in a tertiary role. Yet others counter that under analytics pipelines in San Francisco, Markkanen's true utilization could soar back to 24 to 25%, replicating his mid-20s peaks of 2021-22. Only time and preseason chemistry work will tell which narrative holds. One thing's for sure, this is more than a roster tweak. It's a philosophical statement. Golden State is doubling down on offense and spacing, betting that a move of this magnitude can overcome any defensive skepticism or fiscal pain. If the deal closes, expect Kerr's press conferences to pivot from team-first culture platitudes to nuanced discussions of shot analytics, lineup efficiencies, and the psychological boost of adding an all-star in his prime. Inside the locker room, veterans like Klay Thompson and Draymond Green will face tough questions about roles and touches. Can they embrace slightly diminished roles for the sake of team greatness? Fans are already debating, will Klay remain the secondary scorer, ceding some catch and shoot chances to Lauri? Or will we see explosive lineups where Curry and Lauri operate as the primary duo, while Klay and Green drill extra defensive assignments? As the rumor mill accelerates toward official confirmation, every day brings new angles. Could this blockbuster be the catalyst for another three-peat push? Is it bold enough to bring another banner to Chase Center, or does it risk unraveling the chemistry that once made this team a cohesive dynasty? Personally, as a ride-or-die member of Dub Nation, I believe that Lauri Markkanen's addition, if integrated with careful minutes management and strategic defensive scheming, could elevate this iteration of the Warriors into title favorites. From day one, his dynamic shooting, coupled with Curry's unmatched playmaking, presents a challenge that no defense in the league can fully solve. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report so you never miss another explosive update.